Alright, so I'm really excited for this. Recently on the channel, we had Invincible vs. All Might, a manga versus popular show and comic crossover. We're doing that again today, but instead of Invincible, we're having his daddy, Omni Man from the comics, clash with Saitama from One Punch Man. If these two were to collide, who would win? We're going to figure that out today. Now, if you like this kind of content, hit the like button and subscribe button and turn the notification bell on. And if you want to become a member of my server and get the full package deal for membership, it's 80% off. If you comment down below and let me know you're interested, I'll definitely hook you up and get everything possible situated. Now, for this one, we're going to go ahead and break down Saitama first. Then we're going to do Omni-Man, and then I'm going to discuss who would win, and I hope you guys enjoy. Now, first up, let's talk about Saitama. Saitama, of course, used to be just a regular dude, but one day he got mauled by a monster and decided he wanted to become a hero. Started doing a very strict workout every day. Hair fell out. Eventually, he became the unbeatable Saitama, aka One Punch Man. Now, what are some of the things he's done in his verse? Well, he's accidentally one-shot a dragon level threat in the form of Vaccine Man. Of course, dragon level threat means a threat endangering multiple cities. He's also one-shot other monsters. He's destroyed city level threats early on casually without trying, and he was actually getting frustrated with himself because he was one-shotting them. Did the same to Biceps King and one-shot him. His consecutive normal punches, which is literally normal punches for him, annihilate a monster named Beast King. His air pressure from just his practice punches alone are able to level massive areas of land. It just looks like massive explosions. He's been able to one-shot meteors that were threatening the surface of the planet. He was able to one-shot annihilate Boros, who was restraining in his power suit of armor. Now, this one is the one that kind of gets controversial. I remember back in the day, people used to argue a lot about the Boros scaling to Saitama and how strong Boros was. Even if you left him at planet surface wiper level, in which he unleashed an attack that was supposed to wipe the surface and destroy Saitama, worst case, Saitama casually negged it with one punch, and Boros himself stated Saitama was holding back in the encounter. This is when we see Saitama completely rip apart Boros with consecutive blows. Now, I think if you lowball Boros, it's planetary. I think that's the lowest you'll go without just kind of being a jackass, because a lot of people hate One Punch Man because of his fans. But we've had a pretty good record on this channel, so I've had fun covering him. And I do try to take his scaling serious. And lowballing Boros below planetary, I think it's unfair. Moving on, let's also talk about some of the other things he's able to do, like speed. In terms of durability, of course, he scales to what he dishes out. He's been slapped to the moon and was completely fine and immediately jumped back down. He's been able to casually dodge and catch light speed attacks. He's taken, like I said, these bare minimum planetary threats, whereas city busting threats like demon level and whatever, they are already FTL. And they are nowhere near planetary. City Plus is not close to planetary. So obviously, these characters are massively above just light speed, including Saitama, who shits on everybody in his verse. Not to mention, they've hinted at before, Saitama can destroy the planet if he wanted to, but he can also one-shot his previous selves, meaning he's stronger than the day before. And I believe he showed that when he was going through and doing a machine, I believe, that Genos had made. And he also stated he's never met a villain he needed to use, like, go serious with. This would include Planetary Boros. And finally, he does have, like, some fear hacks where he seems to have this weird aura he can give off that'll just intimidate those weaker than him. And intimidate you, period, if you don't have any resistance to it. And Garu, who he ended up fighting, is constantly adapting, evolving, adjusting based on your power level. And when he got into a conflict with Saitama and Saitama one-shot him, he actually stated himself that the power of Saitama makes no sense and that he didn't understand it and was not adaptable, which gives a little bit of credence to the whole infinite power idea behind Saitama, but that's a video for another day. Next, let's move on to Omni-Man. Omni-Man on the surface looks like another typical superhero type figure, but he has a much more tortured and difficult past that leads to what's become an iconic meme recently in the community with his clash with his son. I'm going to try to spoil the least amount of shows, especially because I haven't seen the show, so it's hard for me to know if I'm spoiling it because I'm referencing the comics, but I'll do my best. But he does come from a race of violent alien warriors who look to subjugate other worlds, and if resistance is met, the world is completely wiped. Yes, even a small band of like 50 of his race are like scare the shit out of the galaxy. One punch from Omni-Man is followed by the statement that thousands lose their lives. Why is this important? It just adds consistency to the idea that these beings will come down and wipe out races with their bare hands, quick, fast, and in a hurry. That's kind of the legacy behind his violent acts. He even fought Invincible, who early on was able to scrap with Alan the Alien, who was able to withstand the force of a star. And Alan, when he clashed with early Invincible, actually stated himself that he believes Omni-Man, if he had just shown up there even without warming up or anything like that, he would have one-shot Alan, who, like I said, just withstood the force of a star. And later on, when Invincible and Omni-Man clash, he beats the shit out of Invincible and drags him across multiple continents effortlessly. Also, in terms of speed, he can reach other star systems in one breath. He also flew through space for a week in a single breath, and this was speculated to be between 4 to 10 light years, and he did this in just days. Also, he's much faster than the average Viltrumite soldier, which I already explained how they can like one-shot races and wipe out planets. As his son and wife from an alien planet are being escorted to safety by Invincible, he cuts off the Viltrumite soldier before he could grab his new family. So like he's blatantly intercepting soldiers and just ragdolling him. And overall, Omni-Man was a very complicated character. I tried to stay away from his, more detailed and spoiler-esque character traits, but he is a complicated, violent character who's capable of violence, but obviously he would choose to do it against people he doesn't care about, and he's not as simple as people initially thought, at least as the reader. And overall, he's incredibly fast, MFTL. He's able to compete with characters and at least somewhat entertain them in combat that are capable of negging attacks that killed a being who can absorb dimensions, stuff like that. But that's really high end, and Omni-Man wasn't as strong, so that's kind of hard to stick with. But planet to star is fair as well on the safe end. And overall, Omni-Man, with his viciousness, his pedigree, his experience, and his ability to kill you in a hurry, makes him a formidable opponent for anyone. Now, looking at these characters, who do I favor here? So, if this was a couple years ago, with when I originally researched Saitama and the material we had, I would have favored Omni-Man. But Saitama here has the advantage of he can one-shot his prior selves. He's massively above the prior showings. Prior showings arguably could have kept up with Omni-Man. Plus, I think Saitama at this point is at least as fast, if not faster, in combat speed, just blatantly. And you rarely get to say this, but Saitama might have safer, more concrete scaling than Omni-Man. In the end, if the bald hero Saitama, aka One Punch Man, had to show up and face Omni-Man, let's say he's interrupting another beating of the child Mark, I see Omni-Man doing work initially, perhaps even initially having the edge, given he can fly and stuff. But Saitama's just too powerful, consistently too strong at this point, and God forbid he gets serious, I think he would take down Omni-Man. Anyways, guys, let me know who you think wins. If you like content like this, like I said at the beginning, make sure to hit the like button. Help my channel grow. Becoming a member will also help me a lot grow as a channel and help me towards my goal of becoming full-time with YouTube. But anyways, it's been your boy YFE. This is our road to 10K, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.